Hey, it's Birdman here, hanging out at the Birdman Media Studios, and this is Birdman on the Mountain. Hey, there's some changes coming. This is the Thanksgiving episode, and I've got a lot to be thankful for. Over the last 5 years, we've done a lot of cool things here at Birdman on the Mountain. We've grown this to be about the community, about supporting the community, about the people who actually put on the events and the activities. That's what it's always been about. It hasn't been about me, and I like it that way. So thanks for all the support out there, the people that listen to the podcast, the people that support the show as sponsors. Make sure you're checking out the list of them. Of course, the town of Pinetop, Lakeside, who is one of the top sponsors here of Birdman on the Mountain. And like I said, be staying tuned for some changes coming up here. We got about 4 weeks coming, and we're going to be dropping something on you. Pretty darn cool. So stay tuned for that. But since it's Thanksgiving and most of you are probably hanging out, we're going to put this out early. It's going to come out Wednesday night. And Thursday you should be, of course, celebrating with your family, hanging around the table and trying not to eat too much and gain all the weight you've lost in the last few weeks back in one day. Anyways, so we're going to start it off today. And actually, it's going to be you today. So I've got Kirk Webb with me, who is the Prevention Manager, is that what you are?
Community Risk Manager.
Community Risk Manager for Timber Mesa
Right.
Fire and Medical District.
So it's my job to try to educate the public and to stop bad things from happening out in the community. And
yeah, so the stuff we like to hear from the fire department is here's what you should be doing instead of like this is how we put out a fire.
Right.
So we're going to talk about two big things. First of all, we're actually three. So we got winter weather coming.
Right.
More than likely.
Yep.
Okay. We've got people who are going to be putting stuff in their fireplaces. And I want to talk a little bit about some of that stuff that we don't want to start in fireplaces, like all of the Christmas decorations. And then we're going to talk about turkeys. So let's start with turkeys, actually.
So yeah, in fact, last year we did on our Safe and Sound show that we have through Sholo TV, we did the, talked about turkey fryers and how dangerous they can be. And, especially if you're not familiar and haven't done it, I've never personally cooked a turkey that way, but I understand it's pretty awesome.
Pretty delicious.
Tastes pretty good, but you need to do it safely. Not doing it on your back deck, making sure it's on an area because, and you want to make sure for any type of cooking of a turkey, you got to make sure it's thawed and thawed out properly. So I know Navajo County Emergency Management, they've put out a few posts on their Facebook page that talks about how long it takes to thaw a turkey, and you do it in the fridge, not out on the counter. Don't put it in the water to thaw it out. All those kinds of things for health reasons, because salmonella, all that kind of fun stuff.
Right.
But the turkey fryer, and there's lots of videos out there, but yeah, if you want to go check out our November show on Safe and Sound. Okay. And we'll get you that link.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find that link. It's pretty easy to find. It's on YouTube.
That's right. And, but it's we did our own little presentation of what not to do, and we got some big flames coming out on this, and we have Allison Mosley and Ian Shallow, who were in our training department. Oh, cool. They're the ones that are our guests on the show, talking about all the different things about how not to burn your house down from a deep fat turkey fryer.
Good. Awesome. So pay attention to that. It's important. Nobody wants to get hurt over the holidays. It's the worst possible time.
No, because you can easily get yourself burned, which then can lead to catching your deck and your house on fire. And we don't want to respond to something like that. That's just, let's enjoy Thanksgiving and honestly, the word itself, being thankful for what we have, including good health and family.
So let's talk a little bit about fireplaces. I've got a fireplace that, so we've had a baby, and then of course we were just about ready to use the fireplace again, and then we had another baby. So our fireplace has sat for probably, 4 years and hasn't been used really. Right. So I know the first thing before we light a fire in that thing is I'm going to have a chimney sweep come over and somebody come over and inspect that thing. In
fact, not only the old masonry type chimneys, they can fail as well, but especially the metal piping, it's not a bad idea to get them, find a chimney sweep that can actually run a scope. Because if you think about it, metal and heat, they don't really work so well together, and over time metal will degrade and warp, and it creates voids which can actually get into the attic space, cause an attic fire. And those are typically because we don't have smoke alarms, smoke detectors in the attic space typically. And so you can have a fire burning up in that attic space for some time before it ever gets down into smoke into the area where it sets the smoke alarms off. So it could be burning above you for a while, and then that becomes dangerous.
So you bring up smoke detectors, which is a good thing, because usually when they do the time changes, I remember when I lived in the East Coast, whenever you fell back or you sprung forward, you changed your batteries.
Yeah.
We don't do that. So it's a good time to do that.
And we recommend to change the batteries at least once a year.
Right.
And if you're doing it every 6 months, even better.
Okay.
And something that's cool, we actually just received from Phoenix Fire Department a shipment of a whole pallet of batteries, and we actually shared those batteries with all the local fire agencies in our area. I think it was like 17,000 batteries or something like that. So if you cannot afford batteries yourself, let us know,
right.
And we'll bring the crews out. Because the statistics are you're 80% more likely to survive a house fire if you have working smoke alarms, smoke detectors in your home. 80%, those are significant numbers.
But not just smoke alarms. We want a carbon.
Exactly, and carbon monoxide detectors.
I always get it
it's
wrong.
like, okay, not dioxide. That's
okay.
the soda.
Okay, cool.
Carbon monoxide,
Okay.
which is a deadly gas. You can't see it, you can't smell it, and they are basic. Carbon monoxide is created from any kind of wood fire, gas fired appliance.
Okay.
And so it's that smoke that gets out in there. It's part of the smoke, and it can be very deadly. So a person that, if they're starting to feel lightheaded, altered level of consciousness, really bright red cherry cheeks, that's a pretty good indication that there's probably carbon monoxide poisoning going on. But yeah, in fact, we're working on trying to get some donated carbon monoxide detectors to help us out, and we're scheduled in April to do a smoke detector walk in conjunction with the Red Cross and Arizona Burn Foundation. They're actually going to help us out, come up here. We're going to identify some areas, and we're going to get a bunch of volunteers. So if you look and you want to come and volunteer and help out with this smoke detector walk, would be glad to. Rhonda Baxter, who's in charge of all of our volunteers, is kind of heading this program up. She's actually the one that got the batteries for us. She used to work for Phoenix Fire.
There you go.
So she knew who to go talk to. And but yeah, we want to help and keep our communities safe. I know we get a lot of calls, requests, especially with the elderly that have those detectors up in the high space, because that's where they belong.
Right.
We don't really want them climbing ladders and with the possibility of falling. And so yeah, our crews are constantly going out and installing batteries. And like I say, if you cannot afford them, let us know. We'd be happy to help out where we can. Especially with this huge donation of batteries that Phoenix Fire provided for us.
Very good. Awesome stuff. Now, finally, let's talk about, we got a little bit of snow the other day, got some ice, and maybe
got cold.
Got cold.
It's like, holy Toledo.
Cold this morning. This is Tuesday morning. We got a little cold this morning, but we have some winter weather possibly coming, correct?
They're calling for a big storm coming up. I think the projected is 9 to 13 inches or something like that.
Yeah.
On when actually it's Thursday and Friday. So,
okay.
And a lot of things that you got with that kind of a storm, with that kind of buildup. Something that people don't really think about is if it builds that much up on their roof and it covers over the vents, like on your water heater,
right?
Or even a furnace vent, things like that. Well, that carbon monoxide, if it's a gas-fired appliance, water heater or the furnace, if they run off of natural gas, propane, it covers that up. Well, that those fumes have nowhere to go, and they start not working. Right. And so that needs to be cleared away from those vents and things like that. So things like, but kind of going back to your fireplace issue, you're talking about, especially come Christmas time, I'm sure we'll approach this a little bit more, but, burning all the wrapping paper and, when you're burning wrapping paper, cardboard, things like that inside, it's not really a good idea.
Not good, not good at all. It's actually a really bad idea because it puts the stuff up into there that clogs it up.
Right, and it
It's
does.
like cholesterol for your
Chimney.
fireplace. Don't
Right.
do it.
Yeah, so you get a lot of buildup. Plus, it burns really hot, really fast, which can create that chimney fire, and can cause other issues. It may not burn right, and it kind of burns out into the house itself.
Right.
Causes. So yeah, there's a lot of problems that can be associated with, and make it like you said, making sure you get your chimney cleaned, and sometimes you may have to do it 2 or 3 times a year. Throughout the process. So be cautious. The wood you're burning, make sure it's been cured long enough, it's dried. I know a lot of people shy away from burning pine.
Yeah.
Growing up, that's all we burned a lot.
Yeah.
And it's okay to burn pine as long as it's had plenty of time to cure and dry out.
Right.
But yeah, there are times if you see that really pitchy pine, things like that, that's what can cause that creosote buildup. And that creosote, what it is it's unburned fuel, and it gets sticky and it sticks to the sides of the chimney.
Right.
And over time, it can actually, in fact, I remember going to one chimney fire that we had, and I swear the pipe was an 8-inch pipe, and I knocked on it, and it was just solid.
Wow.
I don't think it had an open. So I recommended to the homeowner, says, you really need to just remove this piping and start over fresh. It was, I don't know how they kept having fires, to be honest.
Crazy. Well, hey, Kirk Webb, once again with Timber Mesa Fire and Medical District. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
And we're thankful for you very much.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, that's going to be it for this edition of Birdman on the Mountain Community Shout. Once again, thank you, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving weekend. Be safe, be healthy, go hug everyone that you love, and make sure you comment up and let us know what you're looking for coming into the next year. We're getting ready for Christmas season. We got the Christmas parades coming up. We've got the, all the good fun stuff. So have fun out there, be healthy. I'm Birdman reminding you, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.